everyone, welcome back to the crazy world of Studio 33. Doing another experiment today, and I'm doing 6 coasters at the same time. I saw someone recently do I think 4, and forgive me, I can't remember who it was. I watched so many YouTube videos, but whoever it was, thank you for the idea of doing a combination. So I'm going to do a base first. It's just going to be a thin base of the Eraldo Pouring Paint Black. I just want to use that paint up. And then I'm going to put through the middle these colours, which will be the Eraldo di Paolo Ultraviolet, the Metallic Mauve, Metallic Mint, and Turquoise. So I've got 2 metallics and 2 non-metallics. And then I'm also going to use the Mont Pouring Paint Gold, and my swipe will be done with the Amsterdam Oxide Black mixed with Australian Floetrol. All these paints other than the gold have been mixed with Australian Floetrol just to a fairly thin consistency, so they're not as thick as the Bloom recipe. Now with the base I am using, as I say, the Pouring Paint Black, but I'm also going to sprinkle through that some of this DECOART Enchanted Shimmer, which is a beautiful shimmery violet, which will show up against the black, and it won't show up too much until the paint is dry, and then it will. So I'll be sure to show you the dried result as well in a couple of days when they do dry. So without further ado, I shall lay down my paints and I will be right back. So this is the ultraviolet from Eraldo. As you can see, very thin compared with what I put down usually for the swipes when I'm using the Bloom recipe. And then I shall put down the Metallic Mint. Then which one will I go? We'll go with the Turquoise, which is a non-metallic. So you'll be able to see from this that you still can get beautiful cells and a beautiful swipe with the thinner paint. This is Metallic Mauve. And now the Mont Pouring Paint Gold, which doesn't have any of the Floetrol in it. The others were all mixed with the Floetrol. And these guys at the moment have nothing on them, so I'm hoping the swipe will come through those. Well, it will if I make it. And I was just going to put some of the shimmer paint down, which I forgot. Let's put that through the black. And then I'll take my swipes through there as well. I'm just going to randomly place it around. Okay. So now just taking a little of the black cell activator. Just going to run that through these bits that I've squiggled around first. So just want that to kind of create a bit of a background. And as I say, this won't really show up until it's dried. Now dispersed all these bubbles. If you have any stubborn little bubbles, just use a little meat skewer and go in and pop them manually. Okay, so I'm going to use my larger offset spatula here because I want to really bring my swipe, and I'll probably, because it's so wide, I'll probably come in again with a fresh swipe halfway through. So I'm just loading up my offset spatula. Okay, so here we go. Wish me luck. As you can see with the thinner paints, you're going to get more smearing because obviously the thinner the paint, the more they're going to sort of bleed in together. So it's just a different look really. Start out here and we'll swipe again. And off. Now these guys, the ones through the middle are going to be fine. These two are sort of a bit void of anything. I'll just see if I can transfer a little bit of paint onto there. That bit there's okay, this bit here is not, so I'm just going to put a little bit of all these colours on my spatula. Oops, sorry, I'm out of view there. So I'm just placing some of all these colours on my spatula. That metallic mauve actually looks like it was the thinnest of them all. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little swipe. So instead of laying down the paint and swiping over it, I'm using the paint on the spatula and I'm just going to do a little swipe through here. And now just a little bit of cell activator through there. Oh, that's nice. Just didn't want it to be devoid there, and I've got that little bit up there. I'll see if I can do something with that. Something creative. So now I'm just going to give this a gentle spin. I don't want it to spread out too much, and I don't want my tiles to go flying either, which they might because they're so close to the edge there. And on a turntable, the closer the tiles are to the edge of the turntable, the more chance there is they're going to fly off. Centrifugal forces. Very slow spin. Okay, so I think I'll now just do some modification. Well, I'm not going to lie and call it a masterpiece, but it is very pretty just the same. I can't see too much of the purple, mostly the turquoise and the metallic mint and the gold. And of course the enchanted shimmer that will actually show through. You can see these little pops of it here and there. It will show through when it's dried, so I'll be sure to show you this when it is dry. So I think I'll leave that one where it is today, and I'll bring you down for a close-up. So here's my little experiment with the 6 tiles. So hopefully they will look nice all as individual pieces, but also you could put those together like that in the center of a table and, you know, put your condiments and so on there, or you can use them as individual pieces. So I can see that mostly the turquoises have come through in the gold. There's very little of the mauve there, but there are little hints of it. And of course the enchanted shimmer, which is in the violet, that will come through when it's dry. So I will come back and show you the dried effect later. In the meantime, you can see here, you can see when I'm looking at it without the light, I can't even see that, but we can see that coming through against the black. So that's that beautiful shimmer, Enchanted by DECOART. So lots of lovely shimmery little bits going on here. And as I say, you can see that violet shimmer is underneath the black there, just waiting to dry. And it will look beautiful once I've resined these. And of course I won't be able to help myself, and I'll have to put a little bit of the of glitter or some of the folk art dragonfly glaze, which is what I love to put in my resin because it's so fine and it just makes it so glittery without being obvious. So there you have it, guys. Got some nice cells there. As you can see, even though this isn't a thicker paint, it was quite thin. The cells have created quite well, and it's just that they're not sort of chubby, so they're not really 3D. They're like a flat cell rather than a 3D cell. And there's a little bit that was the dip that I took off the spatula over there, and he's quite pretty too. So okay, so I'll come back in a couple of days when this is all dry, and we'll see how it turned out. See you then. Bye. Well, here we are 4 days later after creating this lovely piece, and again another polytich where I had the 6 tiles that I've made into one picture, and each one can be used on its own. You can see here where the DECOART Enchanted Shimmer Violet paint, it's actually sort of sunk, but it's left some of its shimmer on the surface, but it has still left the pattern on the paint there, which is fabulous, and it's going to look lovely when I resin over it and just see it shimmering there. And as you can see, these Eraldo paints that I used, which were just mixed with Australian Floetrol, and then the Mont pouring paint gold, have made some beautiful little cells in here. There you can see, and they've held so well. So that's just using Floetrol, Australian Floetrol in the with the Eraldo paints, and the Mont pouring paint gold was just straight out of the bottle. So absolutely beautiful, really happy. This corner one, I sort of feel like I should have put more colour into it, because as a coaster, if I'm going to use it as coasters, it doesn't have much in there, but you can see that pattern in the black. So as I say, that's going to come up nice and show up more, I believe, when I resin. So, but in any case, the black background, when I put a little bit of the dragonfly glaze into my resin, will just sparkle. It'll be gorgeous. So I will show you when I've resined this as well. And so now that's it for today. So I'll see you back here in Studio 33 in not too distant future. Until then, stay safe. Bye-bye.